Hi everyone, I am here at the Bible study. I hope you guys are having a good night. So tonight our devotion is by Jeannie Blackmer. And let's see, the devotion tonight, she picked the Bible verse, Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23 to go with the devotion, which says, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." And now I'm going to go to Lamentations chapter 3, and I'm going to read all of that, and then we'll come back to the devotion. It's a little long. It's in the Old Testament. Yep. "I am the man who has seen affliction, but the rod of his wrath, he has driven me away and made me walk in darkness rather than light. Indeed, he has turned his hand against me again and again all day long. He has made my skin and my flesh grow old, and has broken my bones. He has besieged me and surrounded me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in darkness like those long dead. He has walled me in so I cannot escape. He has weighed me down with chains. Even when I call out or cry for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has barred my way with blocks of stone. He has made my paths crooked, like a bear lying in wait, like a lion in hiding. He dragged me from the path and mangled me, and left me without help. He drew his bow and made me the target of his arrows. He pierced my heart with arrows from his quiver. I became the laughingstock of all my people. They mock me in song all day long. He has filled me with bitter herbs and sated me with gall. He has broken my teeth with gravel. He has trampled me in the dust. I have been deprived of peace. I have forgotten what prosperity is. So I say, my splendor is gone, and all that I had hoped for from the Lord. I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion. Therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is young. Let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on him. Let him bury his face in the dust. There may yet be hope. Let him offer his cheek to one who would strike him, and let him be filled with disgrace. For men are not cast off by the Lord forever. Though he brings grief, he will show compassion. So great is his unfailing love, for he does not willingly bring affliction or grief to the children of men, to crush underfoot all prisoners in the land, to deny a man his rights before the Most High, to deprive a man of justice, Would not the Lord see such things? Who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both calamities and good things come? Why should any living man complain when punished from his sins? Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven and say, we have sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgiven. You have covered yourself with anger and pursued us. You have slain without pity. You have covered yourself with a cloud, so that no prayer can get through. You have made us scum and refuse among the nations. All our enemies have opened their mouths wide against us. We have suffered terror and pitfalls, ruin and destruction. Streams and tears flow from my eyes because my people are destroyed. My eyes will flow unceasingly without relief until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees. What I see brings grief to my soul because of all the women of my city. Those who were my enemies without cause hunted me like a bird. They tried to end my life in a pit and threw stones at me. The waters closed over my head, and I thought I was about to be cut off. I called on my name, O Lord. I called on your name, O Lord, from the depths of the pit. You heard my plea. Do not close your ears to my cry for relief. You came near when I called you, and you said, do not fear. O Lord, you took up my case. You redeemed my life. You have seen, O Lord, the wrong done to me. Uphold my cause. You have seen the depth of their vengeance, all their plots against me. O Lord, you have heard their insults, all their plots against me, what my enemies whisper and mutter against me all day long. Look at them, sitting or standing, they mock me in their songs. Pay them back what they deserve, O Lord, for what their hands have done. Put a veil over their hearts, and may your curse be on them. Pursue them in anger and destroy them from under the heavens of the Lord. And that was Lamentations chapter 3. Sorry if I haven't seen myself the last couple of days. Things just ain't been good the last couple of days. Something happened in our family. Something very bad, and it was a shock and heartbreaking, and I still can't come to grips with this. My heart's still breaking, and my heart's breaking for the person going through it. So let's read Jeannie's devotion. I was hiking with a friend who had recently survived a battle with breast cancer. She had chosen to have a mastectomy. About the same time, doctors discovered abnormal cells in her uterus. So she also needed a hysterectomy. The recovery from both surgeries was brutal. I'm so thankful all that is behind you, I said. She paused, and with a heaviness in her voice, she said, me too. Last year was rough, and I was hoping this year would be better, but she choked back tears and told me about her adult son's health issues that involved multiple trips to urgent care and eventually a diagnosis of a lifelong autoimmune disease. Which is eventually what my stepmom passed away from. She continued to talk about how hard life is sometimes. She'd had hard things happen, one after another, and it felt like more than she could handle. I had no words of comfort as I listened. I silently prayed, please, Jesus, give her a break. When she paused, I asked her, how are you doing? How are you making it through each day? Every morning I watch the sunrise. The sky turns beautiful colors as the sun peaks over the horizon. It's God's way of faithfully greeting me, and this puts a little joy in my heart to start the day, she said. I had prayed for her to have a break, but God was already doing that. Every morning at daybreak, He reminded her of His great love, compassion, and faithfulness with each sunrise that she enjoyed. God's already on the job. I hope the one I love still has faith to get them through after what's going on. That's what I hope. Because they've been through so much in their lives already. Okay, your homework is, what is an action you can take today, such as watching the sunrise, to remember Jesus' great love for you? What is something you can do to remind yourself of Jesus' love for you today? Like watching the sunrise or the sunset? Just the little things. It doesn't have to be a great big thing. Just sitting out on the porch. Sitting out on the porch in the rain. You know, alone talking to God. So nice and peaceful. Pouring your heart out to God. Make you feel so much better. Really will. Because if anybody can help, God can. Because He knows the future. He knows what's best. Okay, our next Bible study will be in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 13, and that is in the New Testament. Okay, so let's see here. We are done with the circle of kindness, guys. I read the last one yesterday that I have for now. Okay, so we're going straight to the animal devotion. Everybody pick your animal. It does give it away in the title today, so everybody go ahead and pick your animal. Sure.
Cat.
Sure picks a cat. You guys can pick the same. Okay, this one's by Devin O'Day. And the Bible verse is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. It says, "As a fair exchange, I speak as to my children. Open wide your hearts also." And this one is called Horsey Conversations. So I'm guessing it's about a horse. Have you ever heard a mama horse talk to her newly delivered foal? She begins the communication breathing her breath into the nostrils of her new baby before it even manages to stand. Sweet, low nickers follow, and soon her baby answers. Even when her foal is one of the herd of colts and fillies, she can pick out the high-pitched call from her own, especially when the young one is looking for her. And there is a call that screams for help, and the mama will answer urgently and do whatever she can to get to her baby's side. There are communications of correction, training, and love that are palpable when you really observe the mama horse and her baby. Just like cows and with humans, animals of all kinds. A mare always has her foal's best interest at heart. Communication is at the heart of a relationship. There are no good relations, just as in the communication between humans or horses. We feel an innate seeking to be open and complete the circle of understanding, taking everything into a deeper, more real space. Small talk that remains on the surface and without meaning is not enough to sustain us. All God's creatures seek a safe place where there is trust enough to share an open heart. God needs an open-hearted exchange with us. He craves it. It's not the public displays of devotion, but the private, real, and true connection that he misses when we get too busy to spend time in his presence. We miss it too if we don't have it. I know I do, don't you? Enjoy taking in the very breath of God today and let it nourish you deeply in your heart where only he can go. People are missing something in their lives. The people that are the richest and have the most friends and the most money, that could buy anything they wanted, but they're still not happy. It's because they don't have God in their life. They don't have God. That's why. They need God. They don't have that love. They don't have that love in their heart. That they're missing God. God, Jesus and God are a special kind of love that only they can fill your heart with. That's a one and only kind of love. Dear God, I open my whole heart to your communication today, a listening and sharing that heals me. Amen. Amen. All right. Okay. Now to the little devotion. We should have plenty of time. Okay. Mark 4:35 through 51, and this is Mark 4:38. Teacher, don't you care if we drown? Perception or reality? We often hear it said, perception is reality. That idea for Americans may have dawned on September 26, 1960, the date of the first televised debate between two presidential candidates in front of the cameras. John Kennedy appeared composed. Richard Nixon appeared nervous. The perception was that Kennedy would be a strong leader. The debate not only turned that election, but also changed the way politics is done in the U.S. Politics by perception became the rule of the day. Sometimes perception is reality, but not always, especially our perceptions about God. When Jesus and his disciples were crossing the Sea of Galilee in a small fishing vessel, a sudden storm threatened to sink the boat. With Jesus asleep and the disciples on the verge of panic, they began to stir him, asking, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Mark 4:38. Their questions sound similar to questions I've asked. At times, I perceive God's apparent inactivity as a lack of care. You know, Jesus was testing them. He knew what was going on. But his care for me goes well beyond what I can see or measure. Our God is deeply concerned for what concerns us. He urges us to place all our care upon him, for he cares for us. 1 Peter 5:7. That is true reality. Even when we don't sense God's presence, his loving care is all around us. Amen. All right, guys. That was everything for our Bible study tonight. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible study. Bye, guys. God bless. Good night.